This week, we talked to a man who's been biking in Chicago for 30 years and made the switch from commuting to touring and trail riding. Take a listen. So first of all, is this your bike? And can you tell me about it?
This is my bike, and as we were talking before, this is my first thicker tire. I was a roadie guy for the longest time in Chicago, and not to deny anything bad about the roadie guys, but as I got older, I decided I'm gonna start doing something a little more even, like these kind of trails, the little gravel trails. It's a light speed. I told my wife this is my retirement bike, that this is going to be the last one I'm going to buy. And I actually bought it about 2 years ago. And I did a little road trip to Chattanooga, Tennessee for it. That's where they build them there. So got to meet the guy that builds it, and like they gave me a little tour of the shop and stuff like that, which was pretty cool, you know. Plus I took my roadie bike to Chattanooga and got to ride around for a bit, which was very cool.
Yeah.
So, and it's still, you know, it's a titanium bike that's made in the States still. So
Very cool.
very happy with it so far. I think I've transitioned to the gravel touring, bike camping part of my riding now
Awesome.
pretty easily.
That's so cool. And how long have you been biking, and what got you into it? I mean, you said this is like your last bike, so I imagine you've been biking for a little while.
Well, like my first job I was one of those Paperboys. They had like the BMX bike with the little bag in the front with the rolled up newspapers, and I would deliver them to the houses. This is in the north suburbs of in Waukegan, almost Wisconsin. That's where we grew up. And been bike riding since like 70s, 80s, and then when I moved to the city in '95 was when I first started riding more urban, got into road bikes and stuff like that. And I'm a butcher for Jewel, and for the most part, they were pretty cool with me. For the most part, I was able to bike commute to like all these Jewels, because they would transfer me. After a few years, you know, okay, you get to go here, you get to go here. But for the most part, they kept me pretty bike friendly for the most part. So I worked at quite a few Jewels that I was able to commute with. So, I mean, I did have a car back then for like winters and stuff. But, and then did a lot of roadie stuff. There was a group in Chicago, and they're still actually active, is the Chicago Cycling Club. And they have like a Monday, Wednesday night roadie rides. There's like train people how to ride in groups, and they do these little, and I led that group for a couple of years. But like I said, after a while, the kids start getting younger and faster, and it's just like nerves are getting a little shot to do like little group rides that are, you know, going like 20, 30 miles an hour in a group of like a swarm of bees. That great time, but I think after a while it was just, you know, to veer off and just tone it down a little bit.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Very
So yeah, '95 is when I got into more urban, like what I'm doing now. So,
Okay.
yeah.
Cool. And what do you use your bike for? You know, you mentioned commuting. You have what looks like kind of a racing style bike. So
No,
what does that look like?
It could be gravel race, but I don't. I use it more as a touring, and I got racks for bike camping. I bought this bike in 22 and 23. I convinced a buddy of mine from that I met. I met a lot of people in the Chicago Cycling Club that I still keep in touch and I still ride with. And I convinced one of them to do some bike camping with me. We just like saw some YouTube videos. It's like, hey, we could do that. I think it's like, so I don't commute anymore to work, only because I'm at the Jewel right across the street from my house. So, because they're being really nice to me, and I told them it's like, you know, in the last few years, you know, told me the Scooby snack. So, I do miss it a little bit. I do have a commuter bike that I call. It's just like a single speed that I can lock up anywhere, and I don't feel too bad if they would just steal it.
Yeah.
I mean, I'd still cry a little, but I do have a commuter bike still that I use if I want to do errands or go to a little restaurant or brewery or something
Mm-hmm.
that I can lock outside. But yeah, this one's been more for like trying out this gravel stuff that my friends used to tell me about all the time, and I used to say like, no, that's not for me. That's not for me. You know, I was like all up, and he was like, no, that's just gonna get my roadie legs all dirty and stuff. I don't want none of that. So when I finally did come out here, my joke was that I told my friends, it's like, hey, have you guys ever heard of this Des Plaines River Trail? It's great. I think I just discovered it. I'm like Christopher Columbus over here, discovering new place. And they're like, really, Rod? Really? Really? We've only been telling you for the last like 15 years, but finally listened.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Very cool.
yeah.
Well, what do you like about biking in Chicago? What's kind of some of the things you've enjoyed of biking through the city all your years?
I think the diverse things you can go on a bike. I mean, you could do the touristy stuff like we were saying about like Lakeshore, the lake path. I mean, it's gorgeous. It's like you probably don't want to go on Memorial Day or the Air and Water Show because there's just tons of people. But you got to just take the fact that there's going to be tourists out there. You shouldn't be trying to do 30 miles an hour. It's like just be considerate. Just it's a beautiful, beautiful trail, especially like once you get further past like Soldier Field and stuff, all the way to Promontory Point. That's gorgeous. That whole south area is gorgeous. But I mean, we got that. I've overused the North Branch Trail that's right off of Foster. They just extended that. That takes you to the Botanic Garden. That's my go-to ride for like after work or something. It's like, oh, I'll just go there because you don't have to deal with traffic for the most part. It's like a good 40-mile ride for me without having to deal with very much traffic. You know, a few areas where you have to hit the button to cross streets, but it's got that. And in the same sense, it's like there's also like the infrastructure is pretty dang good for a big city, like all the bike lanes and stuff like that. Could it be better? Sure, yeah, it could be better, but you know, I think we do pretty good for a big city. I think we do pretty darn good. It's like I realized it more when they sent me to the Jewel that was on Kinsey and Des Plaines, which is pretty downtown. And I got to, you know, commute with the rest of the commuter kids or like the ones on Wicker, like down Milwaukee Avenue, which, hey, God bless them, man. Those guys are, they got nerves of steel, but, but I mean, I think the diverse different cyclists is what I like about Chicago. I think it's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
I like to brag to others. Even though I'm wearing a Portland shirt, I'm like,
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Yeah.
And what's something you dislike about biking in Chicago? What are some of the problems that you've seen?
The only thing I guess it's just evolving on the times and stuff like that. It's like just coming here actually. There was 3 young kids that were on. They weren't e-bikes. They were like mini bikes. They were like literally motorcycles. And they just like were on the bike lane and just like flying by, and it's just, I guess you just have to like be aware of what other people are doing. You know what I mean? It's like you can't control what other people are going to do. You just have to like do the best that you can for, you know, stay safe and all that, you know? So, but no, I think we do a great thing. The other thing is probably one of the great things also is like some of the restaurants and some of the breweries, they'll let you bring your bike inside, which is very cool. It's like that stuff is like very awesome.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, I mean, you've been biking in Chicago for a while. So what
Yeah.
are some things that you've seen that have improved? Like, are there specific trails or routes or bike lanes that you're like, oh, wow, this really like made my experience better and is like a really noticeable difference?
in
compared
those 25, almost 30 years, there's been quite a few new bike lanes or new, you know, and you're also able to get to all these other neighborhoods that normally we wouldn't have, I wouldn't have personally like went on my own to, and Google Maps is awesome also, you know, for Googling stuff, because it's just, it's been a big improvement within, I mean, it's 30 years difference though. So I've seen a lot of improvements, and just, it's fun. It's fun. It's a big city with a lot of history. So there's a lot of like, I have other friends that'll tell me, hey, have you ever been to the stockyards? Hey, have you ever been to this? Or have you ever been to that? And we'll go out and explore, like go out and get lost, and you know, it's like, wait, we're still in Chicago? Kind of like how you said Right now, it's like we're like in the furthest northwest part of the city, and it's still Chicago. But yeah.
Yeah.
So.
That's awesome. Is there a specific trail? I mean, even thinking in that time, like the 606 trail probably didn't exist when you
No, I
started
didn't.
biking.
I remember when they broke the ribbon for that one. It's like, what are they doing? Like,
Yeah.
or just when they cleaned up the south end of the lakefront trail, they expanded the one off of Foster. You used to have to go all the way by Superdog to start that trail. So they expanded that, added a few bridges. So they've done quite a bit, and not to mention like the actual like street designated. They didn't have as many of like the new separated with cement and different cone stuff, but at least they had the painted sharrows and all that stuff. So I think that, you know.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, you mentioned driving in the winter. So do you bike in the winter and in the rain? And if so,
I don't go out, like if it's raining, I won't go out. But if I get caught in the rain, once I'm wet, it's all good. It's all good. When I commuted, my cutoff was when it was icy. The snow wasn't bad, but ice, and when you get the bike lanes end up getting pushed further in because of the snow accumulation, and just the iciness was, I can't predict ice, and that's when I would cut it off.
Yeah.
That's when I would actually pull out the car for the most part. But
yeah,
I put in quite a few months commuting to work for the most part.
Yeah, and how do you do that when it gets a little bit colder? Because I think that's something people
Layers
get
is
intimidated
good. It's like the outer jackets are awesome. I love wool. My friends always joke with me because like I have this fetish for like old school like wool jerseys and stuff, which was like the first original synthetic stuff that would wick well and all this stuff. But yeah, layering is great. Just having the right gear, having your toes warm and your fingers, you know, your basics. So the gear does help. The gear does help. So
absolutely.
For sure.
Cool. Well, those are all the questions I have. Is there anything else you want to say about your biking experience or that you want to tell the people?
The one other thing that like I said, I'm not the biggest technology person, but I did evolve with like the whole Facebook and Instagram stuff, and use it to kind of like introduce people to bike riding, or like push my other cycling friends to ride more. Like I did a couple of series a couple of years ago. Like I have some music snob friends. I'm not going to mention names, but I did a whole series on Facebook of like 30 rides inspired by Morrissey quotes. You know, they can't. A lot of them can't stand Morrissey, but I would go to I went to the Stockyards for his "Meet His Murder" song, or I went to to different places all over the city that were just inspired by Morrissey songs. And the other one was I did a series called Run the Jewels, where I had to start from where I live to all the jewels I've ever worked at in my 40-year career. And it was fun. It was like it was me pushing myself to like go to all the different jewels, because it ended up being like 32 of them. So, but that was kind of fun, and like using social media to like have fun and kind of like, I don't know, get people to bike ride a little more too. It's like, hey, you know, look where,
yeah.
Cool.
That's awesome. Also, I'm a big Jewel fan. Always love the cookies. So I definitely
very cool.
You'll stay hydrated and fed.
There you go. For sure.
Cool. Well, thank you so much for talking to me.
Hey, it's been great.
Thanks for watching that interview. Subscribe to see more conversations with Chicagoans biking around their city, dropping every other week.